missed in class yesterday. So if you have any other questions, you can ask me. It's going to be pretty quick, not as in-depth as what we did in class, but it'll at least give you the right idea. So what we're studying are conditional statements, and conditional statements are if-then statements. And there's two different parts of if-then statements, and it's kind of in that definition where you have an if part and you have a then part. And for the if part, we call that the hypothesis of the statement, and we use P to represent that. And the then part is called our conclusion, and we use Q to represent that. Okay? And within these statements, what we say is our hypothesis, our P, implies, so that little arrow right there means implies Q. Okay? So if we pop down to this example one right here, okay, it says identify the hypothesis and conclusion of the following statements. And we have, if an angle measures 90 degrees, then it is a right angle. So if we look at those two parts, okay, we're going to identify our hypothesis and then we're going to identify our conclusion. So our hypothesis is everything in that first section, but not including the if. All right, so our hypothesis is an angle measures 90 degrees. So you don't include the word if in that. And then the conclusion is everything including or not including the then. So then it is a right angle. Okay? So if we go back to the Venn diagrams, all right, Venn diagrams are important because what it's saying is if you have this inside circle, that means that this has to be true within the outside circle, okay? And so what we say is that our hypothesis is always going to go on the inside and our conclusion is always going to go on the outside, okay? So if we look at the conditional statement, if you are from Pennsylvania, then you like the Pirates, we have to first identify our P's and our Q's, our hypothesis and our conclusion. And so our hypothesis is you are from Pennsylvania. Our conclusion is you like the Pirates. Now, whether or not this is a true statement, okay, we're going to take those two concepts and we're going to put it into this Venn diagram. So we're going to put our hypothesis, which is that the fact that you are from Pennsylvania, on the inside, and then our conclusion is that you like the Pirates, okay? Now, this is not a true statement because we can find a counterexample, and our counterexample would be, for example, me, who I am from Pennsylvania, but I like the Indians, okay? So I don't like the Pirates. But what this Venn diagram is communicating to us, outside of the fact that it's not a true statement, is that if you are from Pennsylvania, you have to like the Pirates. Right, but if you like the Pirates, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be from Pennsylvania. So you could have someone from Ohio that likes the Pirates, all right, and that's okay, okay? But if, for example, Chuck is from Pennsylvania, he has to like the Pirates. That's what the Venn diagram is communicating to us, okay? All right, now the next part of this is we have to write statements in conditional form. And the key here is that we can't take any more information than what this statement is giving us and write it in that conditional form. So, for example, I couldn't say if dolphins are mammals, then they are warm-blooded, all right? Warm-blooded isn't anywhere inside this original statement, so we can't put it into our conditional. So the way that we would write it is if you are a dolphin, then you are a mammal. Okay? So we took that original statement, we put it in conditional form. If then, there's not any extra information. You are a dolphin is our hypothesis. You are a mammal is our conclusion. Okay? Same with B. All right? The way that we would write this one is if two angles are vertical, then they are congruent. We're not putting any other information in for B. All right? Now, example 3 is putting all of this together, okay? So for letter A, it says write the following as a conditional statement. So I would write this as if you are a dog, then you are playful. Okay? We're then going to take that conditional statement and we're going to put it in our Venn diagram. All right, so we have to make our own this time. But what this is saying is that our hypothesis is going in the inside, so dog, okay, and playful is on the outside. So that's saying that of all the playful creatures, all right, dogs have to be playful, all right? Now, a counterexample would be to find a dog that isn't playful. So in my second period, we talked about Baxter, all right, and Baxter is a pup who doesn't like to play. He's very sleepy, okay? But then for part D, it says, would the following be a true statement? Explain. And it says, if Kirk is a cat, then it isn't playful. This is not a true statement, all right? Just because Kirk isn't a dog doesn't necessarily mean that he isn't allowed to be playful. Oh, whoopsie, that is a false statement. Okay? All right, so for time purposes, I'm going to pause there. All right, I'm going to make another video because of time allotment on YouTube. Okay?